Right, so I'm going to be doing a analysis of Sigmund Freud's theory of the id, ego, and superego, and placing it onto a scene that I've chose personally that I think best represents his theory. Now, the scene I've chosen is from Christopher Nolan's trilogy of the Dark Knight films, particularly the Dark Knight in general, in 2008. Now, the reason I've chose this scene is because it has all of my, what I believe to be perfect representations of id, ego, and superego. The id being the character of the Joker, the superego being the character of Jim Gordon, and the ego being the character of Batman. Now, I'm just going to play and I'm going to talk through why I think this particular scene is perfect rendition of what Sigmund Freud's theory means.
Harvey Dent never made it home.
Of course not.
What have you done with him?
Me? I was right here. Who did you leave him with? Your people?
Now, I'm going to stop it here because this is a perfect shot of Joker's makeup. Now, the makeup, the id, what the id is, the reason I believe the Joker is the id, for me, because I believe that because the id is a character, or should I say a figment, that thrives on chaos and doesn't understand order or structure. Instead, he thrives off the wrong, the unjust. The id is what makes us think bad thoughts, like wanting to do the wrong thing, like steal, or lie, or cheat, possibly even worse. So this description suits the Joker perfectly. His motives, why he does things, and just his animalistic nature. That's all the id is. It's our primal urges and desires, our first bad thoughts. All it wants is to do the wrong. And that's all Joker wants. He doesn't want a good ending. He doesn't want, realistically, a structured ending. He doesn't have a plan as such. He just does what he does because he wants to do it. No matter what repercussions this has, or no matter how it hurts people, he just does it because that's what he wants to do. Now, in terms of his makeup, you can see in this particular scene, it's obviously very cracked, and it's showing the sort of rough, almost sort of demonic look of the Joker. Obviously, he's got the scars on his face. He's got the cracked and dusted up makeup. A very scary, intimidating look, along with the black eyes as well. It gives across this idea of this is a character who doesn't care. This is a character who clearly isn't in a mentally stable place, and it gives us that impression of this character has a dark, deep desire to do wrong.
Assuming, of course, that they are still your people and not Maroni's.
Now, the reason I believe Jim Gordon is the superego in this, because obviously being a police, he's the police commissioner, so obviously he thrives for justice, and he thrives for the right, and he thrives for righteousness, and all he wants is the world to be at peace, and everything to be calm, and everything to go smoothly. Now, in this particular scene, he plays perfectly into the role of the superego, because I was going to skip to the end in the film eventually, when Batman starts to lose control, he starts attacking the Joker because he's being influenced by the id. He's winding him up. Joker, in the end of this scene, is winding Batman up. He's physically getting into his head and turning him. What Gordon tries to do is he tries to get into the room and stop him. He tries to show him the right path, show him the righteous way to go and the better way to go. Say, you shouldn't hurt him. Despite everything he's done, murdered, killed everyone, despite all this, you shouldn't hurt him. You should take the right path and just do it the proper way. Whereas Batman then puts a chair underneath the handle of the door to stop Jim from getting in, to stop him from stopping him. So showing the relationship that the id has taken over Batman, at least to some extent. So he's not listening to Jim anymore. He's doing it his own way. He's doing what he thinks is right. But in the same way, what he thinks he's doing is right is also just doing as he pleases. Well, I'm going to skip to that bit now, just so we can get a further context. So Batman's entered. I'll get back to Batman in a second, how he fits the ego.
Where's Dent? You have all these rules, and you think they'll save you.
He's in control. I have one rule.
See, Jim's starting to understand that, okay, I'm kind of losing him a bit, but I have faith he'll come back to the light.
Then that's the rule you'll have to break to know the truth.
Which is?
The only sensible way to live in this world is without rules. And tonight you're gonna break your one rule.
Again, Joker saying that further emphasizes the point of why he's the id. He doesn't live by rules, he doesn't live by context, he just does.
I'm considering it.
No, there's only minutes left, so you're gonna have to play my little game if you want to save one of them.
Yeah.
You know, for a while there, I thought you really were a dent. The way you threw yourself after her.
Batman here starting to lose control. Jim going after him, trying to stop him, trying to again show the righteous way to go.
Does Harvey know about you and his...
Right. Now that we've covered that, I want to just go back to Batman quickly. We're back here. There we go. Right. As Batman enters the scene.
Never start with the head. The victim gets all fuzzy. He can't feel the neck.
As you can see, he's being a bit violent. Obviously, Batman is a very violent character due to just the nature of how he's portrayed in this film. But this entire scene focuses around his relationship with the Joker. How Joker can get in his head and how he can play Batman. And so this shows the physical battle between the id and the ego. Now, the superego won't come into this just for now, but the ego is influenced by both of them. It's a combination of the id and the superego coming together, and the ego decides what he wants to do out of morality and out of just pure unrational thought. So in this scene, we start to see that he's starting to think unrationally, because obviously in context that obviously he's trying to save people.
You wanted me. Here I am.
I wanted to see what you'd do. And you didn't disappoint. You let 5 people die. Then you let Dent take your place. Even to a guy like me, that's cold.
Where's Dent?
Those not.
See, in just the last point I'm going to make is throughout the entirety of the scene, he's very steely-eyed. He's very sort of, he's still the superego. Again, Jim's looking through the glass. He's watching over. He's still got that sort of, I'd say, safety net of protection. Like, he knows he's in a secure place and he's in control at the minute. But then the more the id starts to influence him, the less he stops listening to Gordon, the more he becomes animalistic. And obviously Joker's tongue movements showing that animalistic sort of weird, almost surreal sort of action help again infuse my point. So that's all I have to say about this scene. Anything else I'd like to mention? No, that's it.